Good morning and welcome to another episode of Mr. Bletcher Homeschool. It's a Tuesday and goodness me, let's talk about yesterday's episode. How amazing were those teachers? I learnt so many skills and there's so many things I still want to try out that I learnt from those lessons yesterday. Anyway, we're going to move on. I'm going to start off with some arithmetic maths. We've got some arithmetic test style questions for you and here they are. Right, now time for some sort of old school word of the day. The word I'm going to give you today is compassion. Now, compassion, I'm not going to give you the definition. You're going to find that out for yourself. However, I am going to use it in a sentence. So, compassion. She showed compassion towards her rival. So your task is find compassion, maybe in a dictionary on the internet. What does it mean? Then use it in a sentence. So in maths, we're going to carry on with a little bit of angle work. I know you thoroughly enjoyed the angle work last week and you had an even better extra lesson provided yesterday by one of our teachers on angles. Now, today I'm going to give you 16 questions eventually, 16 questions about this one thing we need to work out. Now, there is only one thing we need to know. If we know this thing, if we understand this concept, the rest of it will be easy peasy lemonade. Yeah. So, here's all you need to know today. Angles on a... Oh, let's check that spelling, Mr. Bletcher. Goodness me, get that pen. Angles on a straight line are equal to 180 degrees. Let's say it together. Woo! Angles on a straight line are equal to 180 degrees. Now, I'm going to give you a number of questions where you've got to work out the missing angle. So, let's take a look at this one here, A. It's a straight line, and we know that angles on a straight line are equal to 180 degrees. Now, this one's a right angle, this first angle. We know that right angles are 90 degrees. So, 90 add what must equal 180. Well, we can see it already. We can see that's a right angle as well. So the missing angle there is 90 degrees. Let's take a look at B. Angles on a straight line, and it's on a straight line again, add up to 180 degrees. They are equal to 180 degrees. So this one is 110 degrees. 110 plus what makes 180? Yeah, that's right, it's 70 degrees. And we have another one. We'll call that C. Again, it's on a straight line, and we know, yes, you're going on about this, Mr. Bletcher, but it's important to get this point across. Angles on a straight line are equal to 180 degrees. So, we can see a right angle here, which means that's 90. We've been given the other angle here, which is 45. 90, add 45, add what would make 180 degrees? Yeah, it's 45. Because 45 add 45 is 90. Add another 90 gives us 180. That's one for you darts fans out there. Anyway, hopefully you're understanding that concept. And I'm going to go on about it again. Yes, angles on a straight line add up and are equal to 180 degrees. So, can you answer these questions? Right, on to today's literacy work now, and we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going back to look at a genre of writing. We're going to take a look at letter writing, because I've got a little thing we're going to do by the end of the week. What we're hoping to do is we're going to write a letter to our future self. Yes, we are going to write a letter detailing what it's been like learning at home. So then, eventually, whenever that may be, and we do go back to school, you'll get the chance to open that letter and read it back, and you'll hear from your past self. Oh, very back to the future, I hear you say. Now, when writing a letter, letters have different features. And we're going to run through them in a moment, and then I'm going to see if you can find the features in an example letter. So here are the features of a letter. We have the date. When a letter is sent, there is always the date that it was sent on. The main text is the main paragraph, the main chunk of writing that gets across the points that the writer wants to make to their reader. We have a close, which is sort of how you would close out your letter, how you might sign it off. We have an opening, so the first couple of lines explain maybe why you are writing to this person. We have a greeting, your way of saying hello. It may be formal, it may be informal, depending on who you're writing to. We have a conclusion, which is the last few parts of your letter. You might ask questions or ask someone to respond in this part of the letter. And we have an address, probably the most important thing. If you don't send it with an address, then it won't arrive where you want it to arrive. And that's not very good, is it? That's not going to work. So, we've been through what those features mean. Now I'm going to show you an example letter. Your task is copy out the letter and then label the different structural features that you find. Off you go. Right, on to our science work. But before we get into the bulk of our science work, which is about the planet Jupiter, I want you to show me what you know. So we've got a solar system quiz. If you don't know the answers, do a little bit of research and see if you can find them out. So, can you answer these quiz questions? Show me what you know. For the rest of our science lesson, which is actually going to be on Jupiter, I'm going to read some work about some sort of facts and figures about Jupiter. It's your job to fill in the multiple choice questions afterwards. So listen out, see what you can hear. See what you can hear, that doesn't make sense. Listen out for the facts, maybe play it again, then have a go at the multiple choice questions afterwards. What is it like on Jupiter? This is not a nice place to visit. It is a giant ball of gas. There is nowhere to land. Any spacecraft or person passing through the colourful clouds gets crushed and melted. Remember how your head feels squeezed when you dive into the deep end of a pool? That is pressure. On Jupiter, the pressure is so strong it squishes gas into liquid. Jupiter's atmosphere can crush a metal spaceship like a paper cup. Jupiter's stripes and swirls are cold, windy clouds of ammonia and water. Jupiter's great red spot is a giant storm as wide as 3 Earths. This storm has lasted hundreds of years. Jupiter's atmosphere is poisonous. It is mostly hydrogen and helium. There is dangerous radiation too. It gets very hot and very cold. Talk about bad weather. Scientists think Jupiter's core may be a thick, super hot soup. It might be up to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit down there. Jupiter has its own mini solar system of 49 moons. Scientists are most interested in the Galilean satellites, the 4 largest moons discovered by Galileo in 1610. Europa may have an ocean under its frozen surface. Callisto's crater-pocked landscape may be the oldest in the solar system. Ganymede is the solar system's largest moon. It is bigger than Pluto and Mercury. Io has more volcanoes than anywhere else in the solar system. Jupiter also has 3 rings, but they are very hard to see and not nearly as pretty as Saturn's. Hope you got on fine with all our lessons today, and I know you'll work really hard. Remember to send in your work to the usual places. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. Leave me a comment letting me know how well you did today.